Hey everybody, it's Zach. Welcome back to the Heroverse. And guys, I just got done with All American Season 2, Episode 13, called Lose to Win. Guys, this was a very upsetting episode of All American Homecoming. I mean, it was a very serious, topic episode of All American Homecoming. But also at the same time, very, there was some good moments in this episode, but also there was just a lot of, upsetting moments in this episode. And it makes me just damn, this show just can't catch a break with these characters. And we just came off of All American last night too, and that was a sad episode, so it just feels very interesting. It's very damn, can't these characters catch a break? Can't they just get some wins going on? But we started this episode with a win with the Brinkston Lions baseball team. I can't tell if they're in the semifinals of the championship now. They have a chance to win the championship, because they're on a winning streak right now. So seeing everybody, celebrate the baseball team in this episode was very happy. It was very exciting and happy, and I felt really happy for the baseball team, especially after they were on a losing streak and kind of all the drama that was going on with the baseball team, and they're kind of now working as a unit, now working as a team. Weirdly enough, Lando was not in this episode. I don't know if we got a kind of an answer why he wasn't in this episode, so that was a little bit weird not having him in this episode, especially because you would think that he would have to be there with the baseball team, but he wasn't there with the baseball team. So I don't know if he knows that they won because they didn't really tell us where he was, but the fact that they were all celebrating at the end, Marcus is happy, everybody's happy, Damon's happy, but he's okay guys, we all gotta chill out, we have to keep working as a team if we're gonna win the championship, if we're just gonna win the season, we gotta focus. And already JR and also Santiago were damn, I miss Santiago is I miss cocky Damon. I miss him oh, we're the best, you know what I mean, we're gonna beat them, we're gonna crush them, and no one can stop us. But he's not like that, and I definitely think that the reason he's going in with that headspace is because he's so distracted, and I thought he was gonna throw the game because he had the final pitch to win the game, and I totally thought that he was gonna he was not focused, because he's kind of wondering where him and Simone lie with that. He literally poured his heart out to Simone saying, I love you, I want to be with you, and she didn't give him a response, give him an answer. So he really was worried about that, and I feel that's where his headspace is, why he doesn't really want to celebrate. He's happy, but he's okay, I just want to keep going, and let's just keep winning, is because he feels in a way he's losing, because he wants to be with Simone, but Simone hasn't given him that answer, and he's afraid that Simone might not give him the answer that he wants, the response that he wants about her wanting to be with him just as much as he wants to be with her. So that's just very interesting in the headspace where Damon is in this episode, and where the school is in this episode. They're all celebrating, and mind you, Simone and the tennis team are about to go to a tournament, and you know what I mean, and which is really upsetting to me is that in this episode they get pulled over by racist ass officers, and I really was prepared for these officers to come up with some BS reason to pull them over, which they didn't. They just said this is we're doing our job, blah 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 blah. And mind you, previously 2D's oh, we're out in the boonies, we have no connection out here, and I was oh damn, is this gonna be some racist area, what the hell's going on, what are we doing here? And of course they get pulled over. And right away, the bus driver's asked to get out. Coach Lonnie's asked to get out, and Coach Lonnie said, everybody just, remain calm, just sit down, everything will be okay. And automatically, 2D and Simone were they probably just saw, that we're an HBCU. They probably saw the Brinkston, school logo or school name on the side of the bus and just thought, oh, let's just mess with an all HBCU. Let's mess with them and try to ruin their day. And essentially, that's what they end up doing. But, I love that Simone, while Coach Lonnie gets arrested, which I thought was bullshit. I was are you freaking kidding me? While while 2D ends up getting caught filming the officer tells everybody to get out at that point, and she's we're allowed to film. 2D's we're allowed to film. I need to see that I'm gonna let everybody know that you guys are being racist right now, and pulled us over for no reason. And he said you're not allowed to film, and smacked 2D's phone out of her hand. I was oh hell no. I was that got me heated. I was I was this shit in general is just totally not okay. And that's the sad part, is that this is a reality where if you're a person of color, this shit happens, and it's sad. It's for people that are supposed to serve and protect, they don't do that. And it's not all cops, but it's definitely the bad ones that ruin the names of police, hardworking police officers, which is messed up. So the fact of it is just that was just got me really upset to the point of, I guess, I love when Simone pretty much says to everybody, well, everybody just is like, like upset, and you can really tell that this is like really affecting everybody on the tennis team. I love how Simone really, was the leader. She really, took point on being the leader, while like Coach Lonnie, got arrested and got put in the police cruiser. While to the point of, Simone's like, I need to step up. I need to be here. I need to be the captain. I need to be here for everybody. I need to be everybody's rock right now. So like she told everybody, okay, like why don't we focus on our matches, focus on, what we're going to do when we get there to get us past what's going on right now. And of course, she's like, how do we think about anything else when we're going through something like this right now? Like, we can't even, how do we focus on tennis? And she's like, Tootie, remember what we did when we had the bomb threat. We focused on what we loved, and that got us through it. Let's focus on what we love now. Let's focus on the tournament. And I loved how, like, Simone stepped up to be there for everybody and be a leader to get everybody through that situation. It was really awesome of Simone to do that, and to have just them stand up, them stretching out, and of course, the one officer tried to come over and tried to tell him like to go sit back down. But I love when Simone's like, you might want to rethink this or whatever before things get too out of hand, because my mom is a lawyer and definitely there's a lawsuit heading your way. So if you know what's best, you'll fix this before things get worse. And I think that was the thing to really like that was the thing for the point of the officer, like, oh shit, we gotta let them go on their way. Because because of what Simone said, and I was really happy that that was the point where because they didn't want to get in trouble because they knew that what they were doing was wrong. But of course, I'm really happy that what Tootie's phone got smacked away when she was recording. Jade, if I'm correct, Jade was the one that was recording from her angle and got it all on video. To the point where when they got back, that Jade sent it to, of course, Simone about the video footage of the officers, and what they do with that, we'll talk about in a little bit. But that was the situation that they were all going through with the tennis team. Which also, back on that real quick, they actually, Coach Lonnie said that by the time that they're free to go, the officers let them go. Coach Lonnie got off the phone with the tournament people and said that the tournament already started. They're not going to make any exceptions for anything that happened. And of course, Simone's like, that means that if we can't make it to this tournament, we have to forfeit the season. We're done for the season, and that's essentially what they had to do. I don't think that's going to be the case though. I think that once that video footage gets out of what those officers did, and of course, I'll go back on that a little bit, but I think once that video footage gets out, I think that it will make enough noise where those officers will be held accountable, but also the tournament probably will they'll have to redo the tournament, and they'll have a chance to keep going for the hopefully for the season. They'll be able to do those matches that they wanted to do, and of course Thea will be with them, because Thea wasn't in this episode either, which I thought was really weird, because I guess it's the fact that she was probably still upset about what happened with her and Damon, so that's probably why she wasn't there. So I do think that there will be another tournament once that video footage gets out, and them saying that, oh, there is no exceptions, there will be that's not fair. There is an exception on the fact that they got pulled over for no reason, and they should not have to, they shouldn't have to forfeit because of what happened to them, because of injustice. That's not fair. So I do think that there will be another meet again, at least I hope, where they have a chance to continue their tennis year out without having to forfeit and not be able to play for the rest of the year. So we'll have to wait and see with that. But going on also with Damon and also JR, and of course, the whole Brinkston baseball team, and they all come up with the idea, or Damon does, where Damon came up with the idea, why don't we all celebrate? Why are we all just sitting here? And you know what I mean? And just, not celebrating our win and us being there. So pretty much he wants to distract himself from the fact of him thinking about what's going to be the answer with him, what's going to be Simone's answer. So he wants to be distracted. So he's like, oh, why don't we, what are we just sitting around? Let's go do something. And he comes up with to have a party, of course, at KEK. Of course, that's when the baseball team that made the video calling them out, saying oh, I guess it's another HBCU. And I guess it's a smaller HBCU where they don't get as much publicity as, of course, Brinkston does. And pretty much that's their reason to, to clap back, saying, you know what I mean? You guys, you guys might have won that, but you're not going to win against us. And O'Reilly, by the way, like, JR, and also, I always forget his name. JR and, come on now, damn, JR and, I can't believe I'm forgetting bro's name. I always forget bro's name, too. And Santiago. I don't know why I keep forgetting man's name. But JR and Santiago went to make a response. And the one dude that's like the kind of the captain of the baseball team, his name is, and he's a new character, his name is Ramsey. And Ramsey literally makes a video with his HBCU baseball team saying that, you're not going to beat us. You might take this win now, but you're not going to be as simple as that. And it's pretty much Ramsey's going on the fact that he's tired of, again, Brinkston getting more publicity than they do when they have the better stats, apparently, than Brinkston does. So he's just upset about that. That's why he's making this video saying, oh, you guys think you're the best, when in reality you're not. We have better stats than you. We're going to beat you. And, of course, they come to the KEK, party that Damon and, of course, Santiago and JR are throwing, just to pretty much cause trouble initially, or at least that's what it looks like, which I thought was weird. Is like, why would they made a video and then they come to KEK's party of the opposing baseball team that they're gonna go up against in like the championship. So I was like, what the hell, like, why are they here other than to cause trouble? But apparently the Ramsey dude said, oh, we have KEK brothers on our side too, on our team. And I was like, wait a second, that doesn't make much sense. I thought KEK was just a Brinkston team. Why is it that there's KEK members on his team? I was like, that doesn't really make much sense to me, unless they have like their own, KEK over there, over at their HBCU. I don't know, but that was just interesting to me. And of course, Damon, challenges them to using darts, saying like, why do we have to wait to see if you're better than us? Like, I'm challenging you to do a game of darts, and we'll see who's the better team. Mind you, I guess it makes sense in the fact that Ramsey must be, a pitcher, same as how Damon's a pitcher, and it kind of tests the fact of them throwing the darts, see how good their accuracy is. I would assume that's why they chose darts. Or probably they just maybe did it in general because that's the only competition thing that they could do right then and there at a party, other than probably beer pong. But, they're kind of evenly matched, and it got to the point where Damon's like, I'm not doing this shit anymore. You talk too much on the fact of, I forget what the hell he said. Like, he told Damon that, he doesn't have to earn anything, or told like him mainly and the whole Brinkston baseball team that you guys didn't have to fight for anything. You guys don't, you guys just get everything you want, or just told Damon that he gets anything that he wants when he asks for it, or when he wants something. And mind you, I feel like that also hit him hard because he's going through problems with Simone about like Simone not giving him an answer if she wants to be with him just as much as he wants to be with her. So it's at the fact of when Ramsey said, oh, you get everything that you want, it's like he doesn't, because the thing that he wants is Simone, the person that he wants. He wants Simone, but he's thinking to himself like, he does have to fight for what he wants. And he doesn't always get what he wants. He might not be able to get Simone as much as he wants to have Simone be his girlfriend. So it really hit him hard to the point he's like, I'm not doing this shit anymore. I'm not doing darts, bro. Like, get the hell out of here. I'm leaving. And of course, Ramsey's like, I thought we were just like, talking trash to one another. Talking like, I was just messing around. Like, what the hell's happening? And of course, Jared's like, okay, like you hit a rough spot for him. He's going through girl troubles right now. That's why he's just not having it with you, man. Like, let's just leave it or whatever. But Ramsey was nice enough to go talk to Damon, and pretty much said, I went through those problems too, but I don't do the whole, like, on and off the field. I don't do curveballs with on and off the field, whether it be with women or just in general. Like, I don't do it. And it seems to me that, when the fact that she's not, the girl that you're talking to isn't giving you an answer, that might be the answer that, of her not responding and giving you an answer, might be that, she does not feel the same way. And that was really tough for, Damon to hear at the same time, but that was the thing that Damon needed to hear to kind of be like, okay, like, let's just, thanks for your advice. And, let's get back to the game. Let me get back to whooping you or whatever and darts. And he's like, oh, yeah, let's get back to you whooping me and me beating you and stuff like that. So it was nice where it's like he was nice to help Damon through that kind of, tough time of just sitting and of his kind of funk of sitting and waiting to hear from Simone, instead of just living in the moment of them, being in the championship, and and them kind of, just, and just kind of like, celebrating a win. But instead of him celebrating a win, he was down in the dumps about waiting to hear from Simone. I was just happy that Ramsey, a dude that was talking trash, kind of could relate and said, dude, you shouldn't be sitting through this funk, like celebrate, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? You shouldn't have to wait. And sometimes that could have been the answer, her not responding. Don't like sit around, and you know what I mean? And you know what I mean? Just go have fun. Do your life. Don't wait. You know what I mean? She's not going to give you an answer. That might be the answer. But so I thought that was really nice that Ramsey did that. It should be very interesting to see that kind of, you know, championship game go off. And I think that's the next episode because we only have 2 more episodes left. So I think that's like they have the one game against them next episode. And I think that's probably going to be it for the season for them. Because I think that's going to be like the final like team that they're going to play is that other Bringston team. Or other, you know, HBCU team. So that's going to be very interesting. But also the 2 very like interesting plot lines of this episode to me was definitely Nate versus Nico, and there's a debate in this episode, and it's kind of like the big debate to kind of, you know, see for like students to see, you know, who they want to vote for, you know, for president. So that was very interesting to me, the whole debate sequence where, like, you know, Nate is worried about Simone not answering her phone, of course, because of, you know, her being, you know, of course, because of the tennis team being pulled over by those officers, she's not able to respond. So Nate's really concerned about Simone, but while also trying to, you know, debate against Nico, but also trying to keep things, keep things professional without getting, you know, without doing, you know, cheap shots and not following the rules about doing the debate, and pretty much, you know, and kind of like not following the rules. Well, also kind of, you know, Nate wants to kind of, you know, she's kind of distracted by, like I said, not knowing what's happening with Simone, but also trying to follow the rules while Nico's not following the rules. And I love how, I think her name is, I think it's Willinda, if I'm correct. Willinda, yeah, I think that's her name. Yeah, Willinda is kind of, you know, Nate's, Nate's campaign manager, and pretty much, you know, got some dirt on Nico. It got to the point where, like, you know, when Linda was going to use this dirt on Nico and her kind of debate against Nico if she was still in the running, but she's not anymore. So she's like, you know, Nate, you need this. It getting to the point where, like, literally he's playing low and we got to go to hell pretty much. Like, we got to go down there while he's playing low. We got to go to hell. Like, meaning that it's time to take him out. We're done playing games. He's not playing fair, so we're not going to play fair. But Nate wants to play fair. Nate's like, I don't want to win this and stoop to Nico's. I don't want to win this by stooping to Nico's level. I don't want to do that. I want to win fairly, and that's just that. And I love when, you know, Nate takes this the kind of, you know, the kind of like the final nail in the coffin for Nico, like the kind of like takes the information that, you know, when Linda had on Nico, kind of takes like all that, you know, kind of takes like the final thing to take out Nico, and tells Nico, like, you see these, you know, posts that you made talking shit on Bringston, saying that you would never go here. I'm going to give you a choice. It's either you play fair or I'm going to use this, and this is going to totally ruin you. Like, you're not going to be, like, you'll lose the race, but also you'll ruin your credibility. It'll be gone. Like, simple as that. And, you know, Nate was really, like, you know, took the high ground on that, giving Nico a choice. It's either you play fair or I'm going to be using this information I got. Simple as that, and it's going to ruin you. So Nate was big on that because, you know, if anything, Nate could have just used it and ruined Nico. Which, I don't know. If it was me, I don't know. Nico is an ass and a jerk. I don't know. I mean, in Nico's career in general is just him being rude. So I don't know. If I was in Nate's position, I don't know. I really question, like, Nate would have been probably better than me because I don't know. I probably would have used that shit after all the shit Nico's done. But Nate took the high ground and said, I'm going to play this fair and square, and I'm going to give Nico a chance to kind of play fair. Or, you know what I mean? Or Nico's going to be beat, and his career is going to be over. So that was really awesome that I guess after the whole, you know, fair debate, you know, when, Nate goes over to Willinda and says, like, oh, like, how did I do? And she's like, you know, you have a lot of people that definitely, you know, have interest in wanting to, you know, vote for you and kind of, you know, go all the way with you. You know what I mean? Things were looking like they were in your favor in this debate. And, I mean, I really felt happy for Nate that, you know, Nate was able to not stoop to Nico's level, but also at the same time kind of get Nico to realize what Nico's been doing has been wrong. The way he's kind of been, you know, kind of trying to, you know, sway the voters on him giving them free food and him pretty much, doing all these things to cheat and win, you know what I mean? And kind of, in reality, well, Nate is only trying to do what's best for the whole school. Well, and I feel like that's something that, Nate and Nico can agree on, but also at the same time, Nico has a weird way of doing things, and it's not and a wrong way to do things. Where Nate, I feel like, just has a better way to do things. I feel like Nate is definitely the better candidate when it comes to being the president for Brixton and stuff like that. So I don't know. It's very, but I feel like also to the fact that Nate made Nico realize that, Nico did some pretty shitty things, and the one thing that they can agree on is they want what's best for the school. So I was happy that Nico had kind of a learning lesson of you shouldn't be doing cheap shots, and you should be, trying to play things fair and square. When in reality, like, Nico realized that Nate could have ruined him, but Nate gave Nico an opportunity to do the right thing. I just thought that was really nice and gave Nico like a life lesson. But also, like, what's going on with Keisha in this episode, that really pissed me off with Dr. Pace. And Dr. Pace pretty much, giving her students an assignment of doing, like, her, giving the students an opportunity to do her dance routines. I guess that she's, like, known for, like, her dance performances. At the same time, kind of, giving, I guess because, like, there's only one solo and no one wants to go for it, but the only one that's willing to go for it is Keisha, and Keisha wants to prove to Dr. Pace, like, I deserve to be here. You know what I mean? Like, just, I can, like, pretty much, she's trying to get past what happened with her and Dr. Pace about Dr. Pace treating her badly and stuff like that, but Dr. Pace is still on and also Dr. Pace trying to, like, kick her out of class. She's pretty much, trying to get past that, Keisha, but Dr. Pace isn't letting her by kind of trying to set up Keisha into, like, luring her into that solo and pretty much getting her to do a move that I guess is banned from dance because, like, it's a dance move that's banned from dance because so many people get hurt doing it, by telling Keisha, like, oh, like, that dance move, is very complicated to do. That's why it kind of got taken out of the dance routine, not the fact that it's gotten banned out of the dance routine because so many people got hurt. Pretty much setting up Keisha to know, by telling Keisha she couldn't do it and she's not good enough to do it, so that way she'll do it, to know that Keisha will get hurt doing it, so Keisha won't have to be in her, in her kind of, in her dance routine that she wants to show everybody or whatever, and get, Keisha to get out of her class by the fact that she's hurt and can't get the grade that she needs by doing this routine to stay in the dance class. So pretty much, Dr. Pace, like, sets her up to, like, hurt herself. And that was really messed up. I couldn't believe a teacher wanted a student out so bad that she was willing to tell the student, oh, this dance move that I took out, oh, like, it's too complicated, no one's ever done it before, that's why I took it out. Knowing that Keisha, like, always tries to defy the odds when someone tells her she can't do something, and knowing that Keisha always has something to prove, knowing that Keisha would do that, knowing that also when she tries to do it she'll get hurt, just knowing that that would be what it would take to get her out of your class, hurting a student. That's really messed up, and I really do love that now, like, kind of, like, it's dangerous though, because now that, like, Keisha, Dr. Pace set her up for her to hurt herself, and also set her up so she couldn't get the grade that she would need to stay in the class, and got her, like, hurt to the point where she, like, wouldn't be able to dance for, like, I think, like, I forget how long it would take for her to heal from that injury. Makes Keisha now want to go on a revenge trip to get Dr. Pace, like, kicked out of Brixton, like, get her kicked out. And I don't know, Nate was a little scared when Keisha said that, like, I'm willing to do anything, everything, and do anything and everything to get Dr. Pace kicked out of school, and I don't care what happens to me. Makes me very scared that Keisha just does not care. Like, I don't care if I get kicked out of school, as long as I get her kicked out for what she did to me, I don't care. It's gotten to the point now where, like, it's scary. What's Keisha willing to do to kind of get Dr. Pace kicked out of school? I don't know, but I don't think it's going to be anything good. I do think that Nate said we should go to, we should tell, Amara about this. Like, we should tell her, and she's like, no, I'm not doing it. Like, I'm not going to tell her. And I'm like, oh, great. So you're going to do something that, like, you could get in big, serious trouble for what you're about to do. but she wants to do it. She wants to take it in her own hands and not rely on Amara to do it, which is like great. I don't know. I'm really worried about what Keisha's gonna do to get Dr. Pace kicked out like of Brixton. I'm really worried about that, but also like I'm really happy for Amara and Marcus in this episode, because you can really tell that that they're kind of happy where they are right now in their relationship, but also at the same time they're trying to figure out, like, they get the bad news with the I don't know if it's like the bank or the people that are involved in the building that they're involved with the building that they're trying to make over on the quad, that the sports team wants to make into kind of like a sports facility, while like Amara wants to make it into an anybody can use it facility. So kind of like Marcus did his magic where he told like the people, I guess, that are kind of like building the building, or maybe like the bank, like, or not the bank, but probably like the people that are kind of like with that make the final decisions on who gets to make the building what they want to make it. They're losing time now where like they need to get that money in before they let that one dude that wants to make it in the sports facility the chance to do that. So they, like, Marcus hears about that, and Amara and them are like, okay, like Amara's like, I haven't got accepted yet for the loans that I'm gonna need to make this building the building that we want to make it into. I'm like, the bank hasn't accepted it yet. So what do we do? Because we're running out of time. We're like the people that are in charge, the board, is going to turn that into a all sports facility. Like, the people that are kind of giving the money to the school want to turn it into that. Well, Amara and Marcus end up coming to the idea of, why don't we make it into like a health and wellness building, where if students have our students are having problems, they can go there and get help. So it's like, I do think that's a better idea of like, if students need someone to talk to, they have a place to go, because not everybody, like, Amara said, has like, or not everybody has like somewhere they could go, like, to have like family dinners, like for all of them to talk and have like everybody, like people to like look after them. So she's like, why don't we make that building into a place where people can go to get help if they need help, if they're going through something. And I was like, and Marcus loves that idea and Amara loves that idea, but it goes to the fact that they have to, of course, they still need to get the money to get that, to make that happen before that final kind of decision gets made. So it's going to be very interesting to see where all that goes. Place kind of, all deciding on whether or not if they want to post that video of those officers. I love how like everybody like said, if Simone thinks this is the right decision to do this, we should do this. We should do it. You know what I mean? Like, this is the only way like things will get changed if we do this. And that's what what Simone's thinking. Like, this is the only way things will get changed if we post this video. But I need this to be unanimous. I need all of us to agree on this if we're gonna do this. And they posted that, of course, on Yardiac. So that's gonna be interesting to see, like, again, how the world takes it about the situation that the Brixton tennis team went through. It's gonna be very interesting to see if they are able to, if that tennis tournament will maybe kind of, they'll have another tennis tournament to have them play because of the situation that happened before. I don't know. It should just be very interesting to see how everybody takes what the Brixton tennis team went through. It's going to be very interesting. It's going to be very interesting to see what the response will be to what they went through, and will this make it where the tennis team is able to continue their tennis season out. We won't know, and probably until the next episode, what happens. And also, it also is like, it was really cool that Damon got everybody together, the whole like baseball team, to like text in group chat the tennis team that, we love you, we're here for you, and all that stuff. So that was really awesome that, he's like, us Brixton baseball team needs to be there for our sisters. Like, we got to be there, you know what I mean? Like, we got to make sure that they're okay. So I thought that was really cool. And of course, Ramsey said, us HBCUs need to stick together, you know what I mean? So like, if they need us, let them know that we're here for them too. So that was really cool too, that Ramsey's like, that we got them too if they just know that we got their back and we could be there for them as well. So I don't know. This is an overall sad episode, but also a good episode. And the fact I'm really glad that the tennis team wants to put out that video, because they need to be held accountable, those officers, and I'm really hoping that they're able to finish their tennis season out, but we won't know until the next episode. Guys, I'm really curious to know, what did you guys think about this episode? Did you like this episode? Did you not like this episode? What are you hoping to see in the last 2 episodes of All-American Homecoming? It's very crazy to know that we only have 2 more episodes left, but I think we have a couple more episodes left of All-American. And I mean, yeah, I'm interested to see how both of these seasons end, and I'm interested to hear what you guys think about all this. But as always, if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel, put those notifications, like this video. I would love to have you guys here, part of the fam, part of the channel. We're all about spreading love, positivity, and motivation. Yet again, guys, we're almost to, 700 subscribers. That is the goal, to hit 700 subscribers. My initial goal at the end of this year is to hit 1,000 subscribers. But guys, yet again, that was the video. Hope everybody has a great day, a safe day, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.